Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we have got to find out who is blocking who from being on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, yes, there is a celebrity that is claiming that they're being blocked from being on the show. Interviewed 3 times, I think. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Also, we got a little bit of interesting tea about Latocha Scott. It's actually to me more honestly funny than it is tea. So y'all, this is one of those days where I absolutely love what I do because it is one of those days where the drama ain't that deep. It's just interesting, fun tea, fun little shade, and we're gonna get all up into the weeds. Well, maybe being blocked by Bravo is not, or whoever at Bravo allegedly is not fun. But let's talk about it. Before we get into that, a little housekeeping, guys. The book is out. The Wickedest Wives, Book 2, A Vicious Reality. It is out. It follows the story of Desiree Davenport, a disgraced journalist. You know, if you read the first book, you know what happened to her near the end of the book. So she is still reeling from what happened to her in that book. And now she is diving in even deeper. And there's lots more scandal, mayhem, and madness, and backstabbing, and all that stuff going down in book 2. So tap in on Amazon.com. And of course, we have 5 more spots open for our trip to Bali. I booked my flights through Etihad. So I am all set and ready to go. I will be getting to Bali a couple of days early just to make sure that everything is all good with our hosts. So it's going to be a good time. Now, let's get into the tea of it all. So first things first, before we get into who's been apparently blocked, okay, let's get into some tea about Porsha. So Porsha yesterday, I don't know if you guys caught this. I had just finished my recap of the Carlos and Melody podcast on his YouTube channel. And as soon as I got off that, I ended up opening up Instagram and Porsha was going live. As of right now, let me go and see if Porsha's Instagram is still up there. I actually screen recorded the entire live, and my intention was, because I don't like to do videos back to back. I just really don't. I just feel like it doesn't always work well for the algorithm. Yes. So Porsha's live is still there. So you guys can see it. It's still on her page, the full live. It's about maybe 17 minutes or so, or maybe 15 minutes. I can't really recall. But anyway, the neighborhood talk happened to catch basically the parts where she was really speaking about filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just for clarification, I will give you some disclaimer. Spoiler alerts ahead, but she had already filmed one scene and she was about to film another. And interestingly enough, this is something that I found fascinating. Porsha revealed that Bravo was now sending cars for them. To be honest with you, I would have thought that that was already the case for a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta. I would never have assumed that the ladies were to get themselves to their destinations. When we watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we tend to see the ladies in cars, like going to the events and whatnot. And I just kind of feel like this is very interesting that this wasn't already something that was already a staple in Atlanta. Or did it depend on the person's contract? Or was this something that happened or initiated once Porsha left and maybe she didn't know about it? But I just thought that that was really, really fascinating to me because she kept talking about the car coming in. Ooh, how they got car service now. And I was like, y'all, that's wild to me because the Beverly Hills ladies, they've been getting cars. Why is it that the Atlanta ladies are just getting cars? And at one point in time, they were the #1 Housewives franchise on the network. So that's very, very shocking to me. But anyway, let's get into what Porsha had to say, and we'll chat about it. All right.
Cheers to us. We back, baby. We doing the damn thing. This season is about to be crazy. Now, I know y'all are not that familiar with the new girls on the show. Honestly, neither am I. But I will say this. They some bad bitches.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
They are established. They are gorgeous. They are businesswomen.
Yeah.
They are mothers.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to bring that fresh energy that we've been looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, y'all, I'm serious. I'm like, y'all, I have actually been watching the show, not continuously, but time to time, I'll catch like clips online and stuff like that. And you know, you can see what it needs. Don't get me wrong, the girls held it down. Candy did her damn thing. Everybody else, they did their thing. Kenya did their damn thing. You know, Sheree, they all did their thing. But I will say it's always like, we just need that. You know, cheers to us. We back. You know, after a while, you know, like in a marriage, you need to kind of, let me not use marriage as an example.
Ooh.
But let me use a marriage as an example. But, you know, basically, if you're in a relationship, you need to like bring back the oomph. I feel like these new girls are going to bring that. Oh, I want to get to know her. Oh, I want to hear what she got to say. That. Because when you have them people on the show and you just be like, bitch, I don't really care what you have to say. You know, I don't care about your perspective. I don't care whether you lying or telling the truth. You're boring. Ooh. I don't know if these...
Did y'all feel that way about anybody last season? Y'all felt like she was directing that towards anybody? Honestly, I don't feel like she was directing it towards anybody, one person in particular. But I do feel like, I mean, I could think of a couple of people that I felt that way about. I mean, we ain't gonna say no names, but I did.
Girl, I can't say them well enough to say I won't call one of them boring, but I will say that they have a lot going on in their life. I'm interested in them. I want to get to know them. I feel like, you know, when you have women who come on the show, what the hell?
Number one, this earring kept falling out the entire live. Like, I don't know what's going on with this earring and this earring back, but it's like, girl, just take it out.
This earring just too big. Oh, where'd it go? You know, after a while, you know, like in America.
All right, so, and here they juxtaposed that with Britt Edie, as we talked about yesterday, basically talking about the ladies, you know, showing their edges this season. So I was thinking that, you know, Britt Edie, who, of course, there's some speculation about her being either close friends or related to potentially or something. There's some connection with Britt and Fallon. So I don't know if that will play a part in any of this, but that should definitely be interesting. Who knows, right? Who really knows? But that's not all. So this I found very interesting, and shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk because they were able to capture all of this tea that was popping off yesterday afternoon. And I'm kind of glad I didn't do the video when I first saw Porsha's video because it allowed me to see this as I was driving to go get dinner much later on, right? So let's talk about it. I'm going to bring the screen up so that you guys can see who is allegedly being blocked from being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So do you guys know who Primadonna is? Okay. Primadonna. I believe she was on one of the Love and Hip Hop shows. Was it Miami or Atlanta? It was during a time where I wasn't really into Love and Hip Hop that heavy. So to be honest with you, I don't really quite know what that is about. Not really what it's about, but I don't really know her character on the show. So I can't really give you guys a good read on whether or not she would be a good fit for Atlanta or not. But actually, Mr. Jerome Trammell, who is a producer extraordinaire, basically commented and said, after her run on Love and Hip Hop, we are okay, thanks. Okay, good. So now I know, right? So it is confirmed she was on there, but I just didn't see those seasons. So she says, me, I'm the spark. Now, whoever is on the cast that keeps telling producers they will quit if I join, please stop. I come in peace or pieces, dice and diamonds. I done interviewed 3 times now. Okay, I spilled it. Oops. Now here's the thing. I don't know, you know, what she does. I believe she's a businesswoman in it, you know, somewhere in the Love and Hip Hop universe, the MCU, the DCEU. I really don't know, but different universe. But you know, let's just really have a chat about it from the perspective of Real Housewives of Atlanta producers and producers for Bravo and the network in general. I would wager that if a person has been on a Love and Hip Hop franchise, I seriously doubt that the network would lean towards casting that person without a genuine, unique connection to the show. I.e., so let's look at it. Tiny, who is from T.I. and Tiny's show on VH1, is technically the same network that Love and Hip Hop is on. Although not Love and Hip Hop, their show was a family show, right? Now, with that connection in mind, the reason why Tiny was able to move so seamlessly over to Bravo was because of her connection to Escape, obviously. And so we've had Escape just kicking it, and then Escape and SWV show Queens of R&B. Then it makes a lot of sense why somebody like Tiny, who was from a VH1 show, would also be featured on a Bravo network show. However, Primadonna, who was featured on a Love and Hip Hop show, in my opinion, I don't think that they would want to mix the two universes. It's in my mind, it would seem like, mixing the DC universe, for those of you guys who are comic book fans, with the MCU universe and with the MCU. And I just don't feel like it's a fit, right? I just don't. I mean, although in the comics there have technically been, crossovers, but that's another story here and there, and we're not really about to get into that. But anyway, what I will say is I don't know that it's a good fit because I don't know her personally, but I would say that it's probably not a good fit now, because if you're telling the people in the world that you've been interviewing, it is highly likely that you will never ever be interviewed ever again. Typically, the networks do not like it when people reveal that sort of information, especially if they haven't been filmed. And that's the sort of information that you tend to keep private unless you just want some, attention. I don't know. And who for sure can say whether or not that's the case, because at the end of the day, social media is all about getting attention to a certain degree, right? You want to bring attention to yourself or your business or something, right? And maybe she just felt like she wanted to spill some tea. I really don't know. But the question would be, for me, who over there might be blocking her from getting on the cast, because she is making it seem like it's a cast member. Could it? I mean, I could see somebody like Kenya saying, no, I don't think I would do the show if she's on it. The only reason I say that is because I think that Kenya is very particular about her brand at this point in time. I don't know about Porsha, because Porsha just got back to the show. And Kenya's been the only person that's been there continuously throughout the years. And if she's saying that she's interviewed 3 times, then maybe Kenya would make the most sense. I can't see it being Drew. I don't know. What do you guys think down in the comment? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you even think that she would be a good fit for it? Because in my opinion, I don't see it. But that's just me. Okay, that's just me. All right, so then let's move on to our listen. I just thought this was hilarious. Somebody had basically somebody has sent this, had tagged me on this. If you guys don't follow Petty King on the gram, if you're not familiar with Petty King, baby, let me tell you something. I always come across these videos and I just be crying, okay, crying. And this was no different, because it's the editing for me. I can't play it because I can't play. You're gonna see it, okay? But I can't play it because there is music playing in the background, and I'm not trying to get no strike or nothing like that. But basically, SWV and Escape are on the promotional trail for their new tour, right? Which I need to go get my tickets for. But so they have been doing, like, they did the Breakfast Club. I need to go finish watching that interview, and they talked about how they were able to come back together without their management teams in the room after Mona Scott basically wanted them to get together to do this. And once they talked without their management teams in the room, they were able to really come to some common ground and then get back on the same page. And so what you're about to see now is what happens when the ladies are live while they're out promoting, and they end up seeing, okay, on Coco's Instagram, they end up seeing Latocha Scott hop into the chat. So I want you guys to just watch the reaction, because it is quite funny, okay? Quite funny. So let's take a look. Yes. Yes. Okay, Latasha's about to pop on. Ooh, she's like, ooh, is Latasha watching? Now watch the reaction. Ah, and she says, I said it out loud too. OMG. Let's watch it again. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can turn it up at that moment.
Right there. Oh, it's
Baby, let me tell you something. So I see my bro, Miss Funky Dineva has commented and said, if Tasha thought they were friends, she knows they aren't friends now. Mr. Ray said, SWV said, ain't none of our business. And we see our boy Kempire has responded as well. I'm gonna tell you, this is funny. The caption reads, "It's Coco and Taj's gossiping auntie reactions for me." Okay, I just thought that this was hilarious because it kind of gives you an idea of where the ladies stand in context to the idea that Latasha was. It seemed like she was allegedly threatening legal action about escape using the name on the tour, or at least with live with the I guess with the ticket people or whatever like that. And then we saw Escape come back with a response like, "No, you can't do that because we co-owners of that name, girl. So it's all good on this end." So it's interesting to see in that she's also not a part of this tour, and SWV and Escape are getting along so well. It's interesting to see that she is interested because we knew that Coco and Latasha were like friends, right? At least from watching their appearance on Watch What Happens Live, and then just throughout the promotion of the show that we saw last year. But I kind of wondered where things were now, especially with Latasha not being involved in this tour. So I think we have our answer. Okay. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. This is again one of those days where I love the stories that we got to talk about because again, they ain't too deep, it ain't too dark. It's just like this is the stuff that makes me like it's just a good old kiki. You know what I'm saying? So listen, y'all, that's all the tea that we got for you this morning. Make sure you guys keep it locked onto the channel. Follow me on the Instagram, follow me on the Snapchat, follow me on the TikTok at DJRichieSkye. On TikTok, we're doing Get Ready With Me's in the morning and talking a couple of hot topics. And then on Snapchat, we're getting a lot more into, branding and how I work with my business and just little things that I do throughout the day that maybe I don't get to talk about here in case you guys are interested in learning more about how to get into like the branding and the sponsorship space and that sort of thing. And the work that I do with my books and screenwriting and stuff like that I do outside of here. And of course, like I said, make sure you guys tap into Amazon.com, get the newest book, The Wickedest Wives of Vicious Reality. It is out now. Leave a review and let us know who the wickedest of them all actually is, in your opinion. And with that being said, of course, I will catch you guys in the next video.